It's kind of funny to me how you have all these video game activists that are pushing for the video game industry to become unionized. Yeah, that'll totally work. Unionizing the video game industry. I saw this stupid article that was posted on N4G on Cheat Code Central, which last time I checked was a cheat code website. I don't know why they're posting articles about unions, but okay. And the whole argument that was made in this article was, well, look at Activision Blizzard. The CEO, Bobby Kotick, was paid over $28 million in 2017, and he made over 300 times the amount of money as the average employee. And this needs to stop. We need to have a union to stop this from happening. And this isn't just in the gaming industry. This is in most industries where you have very rich CEOs that make very large salaries compared to their workers. And I don't understand what the point they're trying to make is. They made over 300 times the average worker. Well, maybe they're worth 300 times more than the average worker. Can you honestly compare the value of one developer to Bobby Kotick, the CEO of the company that runs things on a day-to-day basis? You're honestly telling me that those two jobs can be compared in terms of importance? Absolutely not. So why doesn't he deserve $29 million? Why not? This whole socialist mentality that, oh, CEOs shouldn't be making all this money. It should be the workers should be making they shouldn't be making 300 times less. Like I don't understand where this mentality comes from. Um the average Activision employee still makes around $93,000, which is certainly nothing to sneeze at, but it's insane how much more the people at the top are getting. Not really. $93,000 is $93,000. Most of the person writing this article probably doesn't even make that much money. So the writer of this article, whose name is, let me just say the name. Hold on. The name of the writer is April Marie, a writer at Cheat Code Central that writes articles for a cheat code website about unions. I still don't understand that why you're having these type of articles on a cheat code website. Well, whatever. Uh, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get what the criticism is. The CEO makes so much more money than the worker. Well, no shit. The job's much more important. Are you kidding me? Are you seriously? So they say $93,000 is nothing to sneeze at, but then go along to say later in the article, if Activision was around the Middle Ages, then Bobby Kotick would be like a feudal lord, and he would be like a rich class, and the workers would all be peasants. I'm sorry, but someone that makes $93,000 a year, you can't compare them to a peasant. That's pretty well off compared to most people. Most people would dream to make that much money, especially these socialists that write all these stupid articles. Oh, please. They don't even make half that money in a year. You kidding me? So, we don't have to feel bad for these people. They make a decent living. And people talk about the hours. The hours. Oh, we need unions because they work killer hours. Well, first of all, this isn't a blue collar job. Okay? This is an entertainment industry. This is entertainment. This is art. It's entertainment. Okay? Unionizing entertainment industries doesn't make any sense. Okay? You want to unionize these blue collar jobs, you want to unionize factory jobs, fine. But don't try and say that the working conditions of video game developers is comparable to like the factory workers in the early 1900s in the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. Oh, they work so many hours. Well, they get compensated for it. And if they don't, then find another job. You know what you're in for. Are you kidding me? And let me tell you why these unions aren't going to work, okay? I love how so many people always complain when a game gets delayed. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when you have these unions organized and they decide they don't like how they're being treated by management? and they decide, oh, we're going on a strike. Remember the writer's strike in 2010 when Hollywood lost over $1 billion? Oh, yeah, unions are so great. Unions are so great for the industry. Meanwhile, you have strikes that can lose billions of dollars. Like, don't get me wrong, public sector jobs like teaching unions make sense. Public sector unions make sense. Even some private sector jobs make sense. But when you go into entertainment, that hurts more people than it benefits. It does. What happens when you're in the middle of a development of a game and we're just gonna go on a strike? It's like you need to understand the implications of unionizing the video game industry. It's like you want to have your cake and eat it too, but you can't. You can't. And this is why socialism is such a failure. Socialism does not work, especially when you try to implement socialist policies to one of the most capitalistic things in an industry like the video game industry. Trying to implement socialist policies into that. Wow, this is like the most capitalistic thing you could think of, having video games. My God, I can't believe people are that stupid. Honestly. Wow. I'm just very interesting to me. I'm supposed to feel bad for these people. Meanwhile, they knew what they were in for. It's a tough business, but it's a well-rewarding one. And having these unions is not going to make the industry any better. It's not going to be good for the consumer. Don't always think that the interests of the workers and the interests of the consumer are always aligned with one another. They're actually quite separate in most instances. Is it in the interest of the consumer to have your game delayed because workers are on a strike? I mean, come on. You really want to give a third entity more power over another one? It's just going to create chaos. It's not going to work. I'm sorry, but it's not going to work. Moves to unionize the gaming industry should always be shot down, should never be taken seriously, because these are people that not only have very little understanding of economics, they like to think that you can compare every industry to the other industry, like it's universal. Every industry should have a union. Yeah, okay. You got to be kidding me. Wow, people are that dumb.